My name is Yasser. I'm a senior lecturer in pharmacy practice and a specialist infectious disease pharmacist working for the NHS in the UK. Today I want to go through my biggest regret as a pharmacy student. So it took me a long time to make this video, to actually admit to myself one of my biggest regrets as a pharmacy student. So I hope it's something that you can learn from and make use of. I'm a pharmacist that graduated in 2016 and I've been working as a qualified pharmacist for the past 5 years now. I currently work in the infectious disease department and work with patients with HIV, and I also work as a senior lecturer in pharmacy practice. I'm grateful for the different roles that I currently have. However, due to the fact that I didn't make use of certain things as a pharmacy student, it's made it more difficult for me to get where I am today. That's something that I want to go through in this video. So in the UK, the pharmacy course is 4 years as an undergraduate student, and then you have to complete 1 year, which is your foundation training year, or pre-registration year as it was previously called. Pharmacy is becoming increasingly competitive, and therefore it's crucial to have more experience under your belt when you come to applying for your pre-registration year or your foundation training year. So let's talk a bit about my background and my upbringing, because I think that's important and what led me to make the decisions that I made as an undergraduate student. So since a young age, from the age of about 13 or 14, I was very keen on making an income for myself. And that's something that I took very seriously. So from the age of around 14 or 15, I used to use my dad's name and my dad's account on eBay to sell items that we had within the house. And I was very keen on asking people within the house if there's any items that they weren't using and they didn't mind me selling. And I'd often sell those on eBay. And I'd be responsible for the postage and packaging. And by doing this, I would generate an income because I'd sell things that I didn't want anymore. And I'd also sell things that people didn't want anymore from family members, and they didn't mind me taking the money. So that's something that I started doing from a young age, and I started generating an income from that. So I was quite used to making money for myself, which I could then use to buy things that I liked. But that was something that really generated a small amount of income. And then when I was 16 years old, I applied for my first role. It was working as a waiter for a family-owned restaurant. And at the time, I used to work for minimum wage. So minimum wage at the time was £3.55 because I was only 16 years old. And I also purchased a moped, so I needed to generate an income to pay for the insurance. I needed an income to pay for the petrol, which was actually approximately £8 for a full tank, which is surreal to say considering the amount that petrol costs today. However, because I was so used to generating an income and I was so used to having an income with any work that I put in, it was very difficult for me to change that mindset. So, during my undergraduate studies, there were several opportunities that presented themselves. So there was one opportunity where I was offered work experience at a pharmacy over summer. So this was between my year 1 and year 2. And it was work experience for the entire summer. However, it was unpaid. Because it was unpaid, I wasn't keen on waking up, leaving the house at 9 AM to work all the way until 5 PM and for it not to be paid. There were opportunities for me to generate an income with smaller jobs that I had at the time. However, I would have to forego these paid jobs in order to do this work experience within a community pharmacy. And that's something that I wasn't very keen on. The difference was that if I did that work experience within that pharmacy, I would develop a good understanding of how a community pharmacy works, and I didn't know that at the time. However, I was keen on making a few £100s a month on other jobs that were not useful for my professional development. I understand a lot of people are critical of the work experience opportunities that are unpaid within the pharmacy industry. And personally, if I had a pharmacy, I would look at making these sorts of experience for students paid because of the amount of effort that is required from students. However, there's still valuable experience that I could have picked up just by sticking with that work experience. I know students that I teach that work in community pharmacy over the summer, and they excel and they have a much better understanding. They have a much better understanding of how pharmacy works. They have a much better understanding of commonly prescribed medication. They know what doses those medications will be prescribed at, and they have a good understanding of how a patient may present themselves, and they've developed their communication skills. So within the 4 years of studying as a pharmacy student, I never took up any opportunities that presented themselves, purely for the fact that the majority of them were unpaid. And that's because I know I was looking at it from a mindset that wasn't taking into consideration my future. And that's something that I would definitely tell pharmacy students not to do. If there are any opportunities that are out there for your professional development, even if they are unpaid, take them. It's crucial, considering the fact that pharmacy students are highly competitive for these different roles that are coming out there. So for these hospital pharmacy roles, if that's something that you're interested in, and for primary care roles that are coming out, if that's something that you're interested in. So if you want to be really developing as a pharmacist, you need to be taking on these opportunities. There was actually a job application for working as a bank hospital pharmacist. So that would mean working on a rota where you're really on a 0-hour contract and they will call you as and when they require you. A lot of people applied for that position. There was only 10 positions and people had those roles filled, and that's something that I didn't take advantage of. And those people that took on that position were better known by the staff in the local NHS trust, and they had better chances when it came to applying for a hospital role within that trust. So again, this just falls down to not taking opportunities when they present themselves. So one thing that I would definitely recommend is ensuring that you're applying for these opportunities in your summer, making use of your summer. These are places that you could really develop your skills, you can make new friends. They are fun opportunities for the summer. Your summer won't be entirely wasted, and it's very important to create a balance where you're developing yourself over the summer and at the same time you're enjoying yourself. So it's about making a balance but also dedicating some time for your professional development. So I hope you found this video useful. If you did find this video useful, like and subscribe. Check out my other videos. I go through the different roles that I've worked in as a pharmacy professional. I also speak about interview skills and how to develop those. So hopefully you'll find those useful. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you.